How many people would jump into a business that they knew nothing about and take it to a level of success that's to be envied by most people, and at the same time raise 6 children by yourself? It's a pretty formidable task.
My mother, Rose, was a young widow with 6 children. She had no choice but to work hard, and work hard she did. And you had better believe that her children were all pressed into service as well.
I think the most important lesson from my mother is honesty. Honesty and forthright, and not to be afraid to ask for help. To be honest enough to say, I really don't know how to do that, but I'm keen to learn. If you could help me once, I know I'll absorb it. And I think for our young entrepreneurs who are so great, that this could be something they could learn from her. She believed in hard work. She believed in community, in caring for the community beyond anything. And I think that her reputation in the town grew when there was a miners' strike and they needed something. They got it from her. And she had faith in them that they would repay when they could. And they had faith in her, and they gave her a great business.
The Royal Schwartz School of Business had a tightly focused curriculum. It comprised of hard work, steel-trap discipline, integrity, and customer satisfaction.
She was able to see the potential in people, and so she was always interested in supporting that and encouraging that. Again, seeing what possibilities were there and knowing in a certain sense what there was a good investment, not necessarily financial investment, but an investment in the person. You know, that this person had certain qualities, and to invest in them and to encourage them and promote them. So yes, she'd be very much a promoter of young people.
When on her 90th birthday, a young cousin came to her and said, you know, you're 90 years old, and can you give us a lesson about being 90 and living a long life and what got you through? And you know, this was a woman who had buried her husband at 32, lost 2 children, and she said, you know, life is a little bit like the weather. You can have some very stormy days, but if you just remember that one day the clouds will part and the sun will come out and it will be better again, that's the way you have to conduct your life. Always trying to be strong through the dark days because you know that it'll be sunny again. And that's what carried her through, I think, her optimism. And that's why she was so successful at what she did. She was always looking forward. She was always trying to be optimistic and make the best out of life.
In about 1986, when she was 86, the clothing store in the Waterford had gone on fire and was terribly damaged. So I'd gone to her house to visit with her because of this tragedy that had happened. And when I went in, I found her in a very upbeat, positive mood, which kind of surprised me. But in the whole course of the conversation there, she said, you know, Tom, she said, when the kids were small and their father was dead, I always felt that I had to show them courage. And so that's what I must do now. I have to show them courage because we have to rebuild the store. We have to reopen the business.
We all say, all 6 of us would say, why can't we be like our mother? Nobody really looks like her. She was a very beautiful looking woman. She was gentle, and we're all kind of noisy and raucous. And she was so gentle, you would never think that my mother had worked a day in her life. She was calm, and she was reassuring, and her world were her 6 children.
She was the type of people that lived from the center of herself. She didn't live based upon the expectations of others. You know, this is what someone expects, this is what I will do. No, she had her own centered wisdom and said, this is what I am going to do. You know? So I think she had that warmth and wisdom about her as well.
Well, you know, I think that Rose Schwartz had such intelligence, such stamina, such perseverance, such commitment to what she was doing that it wouldn't matter whether she was running a store or not. I wonder what Canada would be like today if Rose Schwartz had decided to become the Prime Minister instead of run a small shop in Waterford. Makes you smile, because I think she could have changed the world.
I don't miss my grandmother because she's with me every day. So I think I miss having the chance to talk to her, but I think that she's really with me every day. She's part of what makes me a person. She was there from the beginning. She was a great teacher. She was a great grandmother and a great parent to my father, and she's with us all the time. So I miss being able to talk to her, but I don't feel she's very far away.
When I think of my mother, and I think of her running a business that was so successful, providing work for people who needed work in our town, and never a complaint. I can't ever remember hearing my mother say, "I'm tired, I'm so sorry I can't have a holiday." She had no holidays. And it's just a different world now when I think of what she did and how we grew up so happy, 6 children, with a single mom at a time when to be a single mom running a business was unheard of in our country. And what she did, there's not a day that I don't think of her.
Thank you all very much. God bless Canada and its citizens.